Hello guys, this is Harish Nagar and today I am going to talk about Nirad Chandra Chaudhuri or famously known as Nirad C. Chaudhuri. Guys, Nirad C. Chaudhuri was born in 1897 and he died in 1999. He wrote in Bengali as well as in English and he is a Sahitya Academy winner. He not only wrote a lot of works in Indian literature but then he also commented on various novels written by famous Indian and British writers. There was a question in January 2017 where it was asked that identify from the following works which of the work was called as the finest novel in English language with an Indian theme by Nirad C. Chaudhuri. So the question is asking you to identify the work Nirad C. Chaudhuri called finest novel in English language with an Indian theme. And the options are given: Kim, A Passage to India, Train to Pakistan, and Private Life of an Indian Prince. The correct answer is Kim, which was written by Rudyard Kipling. So remember this thing guys, Nirad C. Chaudhuri said that Kim is finest novel in English language having an Indian theme. So in this particular lecture guys, we shall be talking about 4 works of Nirad C. Chaudhuri. The first work is The Autobiography of an Unknown Indian. This was published in the year 1951. In this particular work, he gives personal national history of Bengal at the turn of century, and he also talk about his own childhood in East Bengal and then the adolescent year he spent in Kolkata. There is a beautiful essay which is there in this particular book and the essay is called Objective Method in History. Objective Method in History is an essay which was written by Nirad C. Chaudhuri and it was included in the book Autobiography of an Unknown Indian. He dedicated the book to the memory of the British Empire in India and V.S. Naipaul praised this book greatly. The book covers Nirad C. Chaudhuri's working life in India, first as a clerk in military accounts department, then as an editor, as a writer and as a publicist. While he was a clerk, he came across Matthew Arnold's poem and the name of that poem is The Scholar Gypsy, published in 1853, which inspired him to leave the secure government job and become a writer. And that is the time when he realized that his inner calling was to become a writer. Now there was a question that was asked in July 2018 and the question was Nirad C. Chaudhuri's autobiography of an unknown Indian concludes with an essay on the course of Indian history. The essay that I just talk about, Objective Method in History, and he says that Nirad C. Chaudhuri concludes the account of events in his life. How does the narrative end? So the narrative end by Nirad C. Chaudhuri telling us that he obtained a job in the military accounts department and gave up the job because he finds it is soul destroying. So the reason why he left a job at the military account department was because he could find out that the inner calling and he realized that he is supposed to be a writer and not a clerk in the military account department. So that was Autobiography of an Unknown Indian. Now guys, the next work is Passage to England, which is a very different from E.M. Foster's work A Passage to India. So this work, Passage to England, was published in 1959 and in this work he expresses his experience in the course of his visit to England in 1955. So he went to England and he is talking about that visit in the work Passage to England. Now guys, the next work is The Continent of Circe. This was published in 1965. It is a collection of essay and the subtitle is An Essay on the People of India. And finally guys, we have Nirad C. Chaudhuri's work Thy Hand Great Anarch. This was published in 1987 and it is the sequel to The Autobiography of an Unknown Indian. The title, I am completely sure you must have guessed. It is being taken from a couplet of Alexander Pope's work The Dunciad and the couplet is Thy Hand Great Anarch. lets the curtain fall and universal darkness buries all. So that was the sequel to Autobiography of Unknown Indian. Now guys, we have talked about 4 works of Nirad Chaudhuri in this lecture, and the name of that works are Autobiography of an Unknown Indian, published in 1951, A Passage to England, published in 1959, The Continent of Circe, published in 1965, and Thy Hand Great Anarch, published in 1987. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you guys.